Okay, everyone, now we have opened up After Effects and we are just going to go new project. Once the new project is open, I am going to go to new composition. We're going to do new composition regular because we're not going to be using a video clip. On this one, we're going to be using a photo. New composition, and then we're going to go to composition settings. Now, we leave the name as comp1. I'm okay with that. We go to our preset HDTV 1080-24, 1920 by 1080 square pixels, 24 frames per second is our frame rate. If you see, we can also go to 23976. That would change you to an automatic custom. Either one is acceptable. Drop versus non-drop frame. So it doesn't actually matter to me. 23976 is what we use with everything else. So you can have that also. Remember, resolution. This is not the resolution of your outputted item. This is not the resolution of anything. This is just what you're going to be editing at to allow your computer to process faster. I put us at 1/4 the first time we ever used it, and I think it's the easiest way. It gives you enough things that you can focus on and see what's happening in your After Effects project, but it also allows your computer to run instead of slowing it down. And on a Porto, we don't want anything slowing it down because those servers are slow. All right, start time code 0000000. We're going to start at 0 seconds, 0 frames right at the beginning. Okay, and then we're going to decide our duration by what we want or what we have. Okay, I'm going to keep it at 3 seconds because I believe most of our images are going to be that length. If I was building the opening or closing, maybe I would do 5 seconds, but I can always go back and change it later and work on it if I just don't like the way it looks when I bring it into Premiere. Background color, we'll always stay at black because black works both as a black background and as transparency. The height is 1920. I'm sorry, the width is 1920. The height is 1080. That is directly off of your HD 1080, HD 1080p or HD TV 1080-24. So right here in our drop-down menu, we have the HD TV 1080-24. All I did was switch this to 23976, which I told you could be done either way. And then I hit OK. Okay, at this point, we're now going to want to bring in our image. We're going to edit our first image and start to work with it. So I'm going to go to File, Import, File, or Control-I for the PC or Command-I for the Mac. Then I go to my desktop. I'm going to go to my period 3, which is you guys. Then I open up my drink commercial. All right, so now we are going to import the file. I open up my 3rd period folder. I open up my drink commercial folder, and I'm going to just grab the first drink and take a look at it. So I double click drink number 1. Okay, I forgot one last thing. So on the import, I just skipped over it. When I select drink 1, down here, the sequence options change. And they weren't checked when I first clicked on it, so that's why I forgot about it. So sequence options, uncheck importer JPEG sequence. If you don't uncheck it, what happened to me was all of the JPEGs from that folder came forward. Okay, so all I want is 1. So if you did that, that's fine. Just delete it or Control or Command Z to undo, and then go back and import without the checkbox checked for importer JPEG sequence, and then hit import. Once you have your picture imported, it'll be right here. All I want to do is click, hold, and drag, and I want to get it out towards the middle. This image looks to be huge, but I'm just going to release it. And then what I'll do is I'll work on my sizing. Okay, so sometimes images come in really big. So this one came in really big, which works perfect for us because then I can show you how to shrink the size. Okay, so down here in the bottom left, right now I'm at 61.9%. I am going to take my magnification all the way down to like 3.1%. And so now I see this little image and I'm like, okay, I can make it a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger. What I want to make sure is that I keep this outside area with these little boxes, which are called nodes. I want to keep them visible for me because if they're visible, then I can shrink this image down. So now I'm going to take this image and I am going to work and bring it in, okay? I am going to hold down Control on a PC. And I'm just going to bring it in, and then I'm going to click, drag, and readjust. Okay, maybe I open it a little bit more. Okay, what I want to make sure I'm not doing is distorting it. I want to make sure that I'm not clicking and taking it like this. Okay, I want to click from one of the corners, and I want to keep it steady and take it all the way in. So it looks like this. So at this point right now, I want you to resize your image. Okay, so at this point, we have a good shot and good positioning of our image. We can open up the size now a little bit more if we want to see our image better. At this point, we have one layer, which is the image layer. And all we're going to do now is we're going to put some text in. Now, this is our first one, so we're going to probably open it up with something that helps you to sell the product for the commercial or describe what it is. So I'm going to take the text tool up top. I'm going to draw myself a text box across the entire image, and I am going to write something like, when it's hot, all you need is a refreshing Pepsi. Okay. So when it's hot, all you need is a refreshing Pepsi. So I'm going to change the lettering to something red. So I highlight the lettering. Now I come over to the character tab in the right side. And I'm going to make it something nice and bright red. Okay. Then I'm going to take the arrow and I'm going to move it. I'm going to put it just above the first logo and I'm going to let it go. So now I have it where I want it. And then I'm going to just add a basic effect so we can see conceptually what we want to do. So up here, I go to Effects and Presets. I then open up Animation Presets. And because currently we're working with text, I open up the Text Animation Presets. And now I have a list from 3D text all the way down to tracking. I can open any of them and see what they do. I'm going to open up curves and spins. And I've decided I am going to choose Dust Devil. I take it right out. I click, hold, and I took it off the screen. Click, hold, and drag. Once my text is highlighted, I let it go. Now I have a second layer down here. That's my text. Then I have my picture. And then on my text, I have an effect. The first thing I need to do is hit the space bar and I let my computer render and build the entire item. Now I see this and it looks weird. It's going and it never gets back to what it's going to say. So I've decided I certainly don't like that. So I hit Control Z and I undo the effect. Now I'm going to try bloom flower. Click, drag, drop, hit the space bar, let the rendering happen. And I see all the way through and it almost gets to the end. So in this situation, I need to take a look at what I'm doing and I need to decide, sorry, I'm going to open this up just a little bit. I need to decide where I'm going to stop this. So I'm going to have to make my effect shorter. So I come down here and I'm looking inside and I see all of these points, all of these little dots, they're all keyframes to what stuff is happening. Okay. So I want to be able to see if I take away over here the eyes, then it takes it all away. But I don't want to get rid of everything. What I want to do is I want to make this image stop short. Okay. So I've decided I want to make it just a little bit shorter. So maybe I'm going to move all of my keyframes. Okay. So I'm going to work on each keyframe and I'm going to decide where I want to bring it in. So I'll open the animators up and here we go. This diamond is one. I'm going to take it all the way back to 2 seconds. Right about there. And then I'm going to see what happens when I put that diamond there. See? So now that diamond is the stop and then everything kind of slows into place. Well, maybe I need a little bit more time. So I'm going to go halfway. Okay, so halfway of 24 frames should be right around 12. So in this scenario, I have this, it quickly goes, and then boom, I have my ending. Okay. So in a situation like this, I'm able to see what's happening, where it's happening at, and then I can actually see the graphic at the end because it kind of drops into place. Okay. So I can make those modifications. Now, if I was doing something like this and it was this fast, I would probably do voiceover along with it. But these are things that you're going to want to see and do. Okay. I might not like this bloom flower. I might go with something else. Right now, all we're doing is looking at what we have and deciding on what we can do with it. Okay. I'm not looking for the perfect outcome right now. I'm just running some tests. So this being the tutorial for it, I want you to see how it can be changed. I'm going to Control Z a few times and basically get myself back to no effect. And then I'm going to try another one. I'm going to try pinwheel. So I stick pinwheel up there, I hit the space bar, and then it goes. Now, this one's maybe a better one for this concept because it's like when it's hot, all you need is a refreshing Pepsi and it comes in and on the screen. Okay. So I want you to find one that you like, and then we're going to save this and talk about how bringing it back into Premiere works. All right, at this point, I have the graphic the way I want. I take a look, spins in, sits down. Okay, I'm fine. Then what I want to do is save the file. So Control S for the PC, Command S for the Mac. And I'm going to call this drink_1. So I know what picture it is based off what image I used. Now I'm going to go back to my desktop. I'm going to go to my class folder. I'm going to go to my drink folder, and then I'm going to save this. I have nothing else in this folder right now because all I'm looking at is other After Effects files. See, it says save as type After Effects project. There's no other After Effects projects, so I won't see any other ones. All the other files still do exist. They're just not After Effects projects files. And then I hit save. and then we're good. We have now made and saved our project. Okay, at this point, you'll be able to bring the file from After Effects into Premiere. This way is basic, so you won't have to worry about exporting or do anything like that. We will do that when we actually export the video. So I go back to my folder, I go to my drink commercial, and I launch my drink commercial project. Okay, this one is not gonna have any video in it, or for most of us, it won't have video, so you don't have to worry about dropping video on first like a normal edit. All I want to do now is hit Control-I, which is my import. I'm going to grab the After Effects file, drink_1 with the AE. I'm going to open it. And what's gonna happen now is it's gonna bring up my composition. The little blue lines are going, it's loading currently. So at this point, we wait for it to load, and we're gonna look for composition 1 or comp 1 to pop up inside of this area. This is the reason why we don't use multiple compositions. Well, at least at our point of work, we're not using multiple compositions in any single project. We make a new composition and a new project each After Effects file we work with. So I hit comp 1 and I click OK. And now my comp 1 AEP has come in. That's an After Effects project. And I could just drag it to the timeline if I wanted. Make this a little bit bigger so I can see the whole file. And then if I watch it, is it buffering? At first, when I played through and then scrubbed the timeline, there was no image. It was still buffering and loading the entire image from After Effects. Come down, hit the space bar, there we go. My file is there, the picture is there, we're all good to go. Okay, so this concludes for us taking an image into After Effects, adding basic text and a basic already pre-made animation or effect, saving it, naming it, and then bringing it back into Premiere while using just the composition in After Effects, placing it on the timeline and viewing it for the first time.